Ladies and gentlemen, lend me your ears and your eyes. Diva Divine Light, live from Brooklyn, New York.
No delaying for what you saying, yo. Silly with my 9 million with the dilly, yo. When I be on the mic, yes, I do my duty, yo. While up in the club, like we while in the studio. You don't wanna vibe, nigga, really and truly, yo. My main thug, nigga named Moody, yo. He moody, yo. Like a nigga that'll slap me with the toolie, yo. Bitch, nigga scared to death, act fruity, yo. Fuck that, nigga shorty, she a little cutie, yo. The way you shake it, nigga, wanna get all in the booty, yo. With no delaying for what you saying, yo.
Diva Divine Light.
Really my heart to me. Fuck me, see what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you really my heart to me. Fuck me, see what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you.
You're watching Diva, the Divine Light. A fun-loving, caring, passionate person who talks about sex, celebrity, and real-life issues, and even abuse. So hit that like button and make sure you share the show.
Really my heart to me. Fuck me, see what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you really my heart to me. Fuck me, see what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you really my heart to me. Fuck me, see what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you really my heart to me. Fuck me, see what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you.
Here comes the pitch, and it comes in wide. On the combo.
Yo, 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 yo. Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me out there? Everybody give me a thumbs up if you hear me loud and clear. I'm not buffering. We good. Hello to everyone. Flawless. R. Kelly's a dog head. What's up, mommy? All right, cleaning in the bushes. That's what's up. Who else we got in here? Shorty. What's up, mama? Cat. What's up, baby? I hope you're doing good, mama. Mwah. R. Kelly's a dog head. Flawless. Ty. My Ty. I need water. Lovely Fair. What's up, baby?
What the fuck is that?
Ton Bella. What's up, mama? Tears. Indigo. What's up, my babies? Hello, Roger. Blessings to you too, Papito. Welcome to the channel. You new here. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
You know what? I need a gas station.
Over here, we talk about R. Kelly. Are you for the ladies? Are you with the survivors, Roger?
My car is about to blow up.
Or do you believe R. Kelly is innocent?
Only need a gas station.
Because over here, we are OCOV, which is one color, one voice. We stand with the women, and we are a variety, and we are very diverse in here. Absolutely. God bless you. Welcome, Roger. Say hello to my family. Family, say hello to Roger. We got another guy up in here. Yay! We don't have too many guys, males up in this sector. On this side, anyway. So welcome, baby. We need another man. We need another man. Just for that, Roger, I'm going to give you a wrench. Hold up.
Do it.
All right. You are officially part of the Wrench Gang. You are officially down with the OCOV family. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I gather you're aware of his case.
You want to fix up your car? You're taking off pretty fast. Yeah, I'm so tripping.
Yes, we gang over here. We gang. You see, everybody, we lit up in blue. Blue's my favorite color because of my history. Way back in my way past, like R. Kelly, I had a past, and I represented blue. And I still, I still have blue in my heart. You feel me? You got it? You got it? All right. We be doing the walk over here. We be doing the walk over here. See walk. We see walk over here. Awesome, Raja. All right. Well, guys, I got a lot here. I don't know how long we're going to take. So strap on your boots. Grab your afternoon spliffs. If you at home, if you at work, just chill. Put it in your ear. And we're going to go. Now, y'all know me and trying to get information and everything. Y'all know I'm the information lady over here. Okay. So, I had found a video from the Attorney General, Garland. He announces from the Justice Department the strategy to combat human trafficking. Okay. So I just thought that this information would be important. And just so that everyone knows that this is the reason why R. Kelly, along with everyone else like Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Keith Raniere, now this guy Matt Gaetz is in there. Who else? Roman Polanski. Quite a few people. And most of the people, and Bill Cosby, most of the people that I've named now, Marley Marl, quite a few people that have gone down as of the past few years since 2017, because in the government, they are trying their best to take down people who are in power. Okay, because they've been taking down the little men, your regular schmegular average men on the streets. They've been picking them up. Okay, but the men that have the power and the resources to fight off the government, to intimidate witnesses, to pay off people to hush, those people that are in power, in Congress, in the entertainment world, in these industries, they have been striking them down since the Me Too movement. Yes, we are a terrorist organization. Yes, we are. If that's what you want to call us, then yes, we are. We're a terrorist organization that takes down the bad people. We're a good terrorist organization, okay? We do it for good, okay? We're here to protect children, men and women, boys and girls. We're here to advocate for them. That's what I do over here. Just advocate. Speak the facts. That's it. That's all. That's all I can do. Say my opinions, spread the facts, and people out there in the world can see and understand the other side. So, guys, don't forget, while you're in here, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you're not. Share the video. Please get it out there. I need to be out there more, y'all. So I need y'all to share, guys. Share. Over here, I am a little unorthodox. I do things my way. I do things a little strange. Thank you very much, Karen. I love you, boo-boo. God bless you, mama, for that. Thank you, sweetheart. So over here, that's what we do. So now I'm going to play the video. I'm going to share the video with y'all so we can have an understanding of what the government is trying to do and what they've been doing for the past few years. And they will continue to do. And they will improve and get better with time on how to take all these people down. Because it is hard to fight. Them girls that dealt with Larry Nassar, the gymnast. Well, let me tell you something. I went through their congressional hearing that they had. And it was because the FBI was negligent in taking their case and reporting it and investigating it, as well as the Gym USA were hiding Larry Nassar's crimes. They were sweeping things under the rug because he had a reputation. He was a great doctor. They needed to protect their image as well. The same thing with Sony. I think Sony should be responsible. I think that all these survivors who came forward should be dealing with the Sony company and trying to sue them for letting this man go for so long and sweeping things under the rug. Because I think if they would have paid attention and did what was right when Tiffany Hawkins first came out, there would never have been an Aaliyah. There would never have been a Rashonda, a Tracy Sampson, a Patrice Jones, Montina Woods, Javante Cunningham, Ebony Wilkins, another young lady by Green. There would never have been none of these girls. None of them. And anyone else in between that we don't know about. And maybe R. Kelly would have done a little time for just the one victim, got out, learned his lesson, and maybe continued his career at his younger age when this went down. When this first originally went down, he was in his late 20s, middle 20s. It's now that karma has caught up to him in his middle 50s, his early 50s. Now, he does all this time, he gonna, God forbid, die in jail. Right? That's crazy. But he thinks he's innocent because he don't see he did anything wrong. And that is due to the fact that he's had all these years, these people be yes men and sweep things under the rug, protect him, lie. They aided, they abetted. They did a lot of things. That's why he went down. All right, guys. So I'm going to go on mute. And I'm going to share my screen.
Even drunk in your fucking car, I'm good car.
Okay. Make sure.
Yeah.
I think my internet might be a little laggy, so my apologies if it lags and buffers, okay?
Human trafficking is an insidious crime. Traffickers exploit and endanger some of the most. Human trafficking is an insidious crime. Traffickers exploit and endanger some of the most vulnerable members of our society and cause their victims unimaginable harm. At the Justice Department, we are using every available resource to combat human trafficking and to support human trafficking survivors. Last year, we helped develop the President's National Action Plan to combat human trafficking. This year, I'm pleased to announce that the Justice Department is issuing a new national strategy to combat human trafficking. This strategy is aligned with the foundational pillars of the President's National Action Plan. It will expand the Justice Department's capacity to prevent human trafficking, to prosecute perpetrators of human trafficking crimes, and to provide protection and support for victims and survivors. Our strategy will build on the important work we are already doing. Today, assistant United States attorneys are coordinating district-wide efforts to combat human trafficking in each of our 94 U.S. attorneys' offices. Child exploitation and human trafficking task forces are operated in nearly all 56 FBI field offices across the country. These task forces work relentlessly alongside state and local partners to recover victims and investigate traffickers. At the same time, the U.S. Marshal Service is continuing to step up its efforts to enforce the Victims of Trafficking Act and to recover critically missing children here at home and around the world. The Justice Department is also working to combat human trafficking by supporting our partners nationwide with federal grants. Last year, we awarded more than $85 million to combat human trafficking and support survivors. All of us have a role to play in this effort. If you believe that you or someone you know may be a victim of human trafficking, please reach out for help by calling the National Human Trafficking Resource Center hotline at 888-373-7888. This national, confidential, and toll-free hotline is staffed by specialists who are available to answer your call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can also contact your local FBI office or local police department. To end human trafficking, we must work together. Thank you for joining us in this important effort.
Not me. Hello?
Hello, hot spicy tea. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Buy a car, buy a
Yes. So, you see, the Department of Justice, the FBI, everyone is collectively trying to put a
car. I'm
control
gonna take you to the
on
dock.
this sex
I'm gonna
trafficking.
That's
So,
why
yeah, entertainers are starting to go down because they're the ones that do a lot of trafficking. They do it.
we don't even know about.
I don't care if the girls are groupies or not.
Do this race. You ready?
You're still using them for immoral purposes.
Let's see. You want first place? Take first place. That's if you get it. You gotta work for it.
That's the whole
I'm not,
thing of it.
I'm not dying.
Immoral
I'm not
purposes.
dying. I don't care about that shit.
You're
Racing,
abusing
the whole
these
point of
women,
racing is to race each other.
whether they want to be there or not. That does not matter.
Yeah. I let my brother
That does not matter. That is irrelevant.
crashing each other and all that shit.
It's the treatment that they go through.
Part of the game.
That's the whole
You
point.
know when you drift up behind somebody, when you right up somebody's ass.
And then people are always asking why women don't report.
It brings up your turbo.
And that's because your local police department a lot of times don't do anything. I don't know how many times I got to explain that.
Your car's faster than mine. Let's go.
A lot of times they just take the case, they take the complaint, they look into it a little bit, they go, oh, no, maybe she's, well, she didn't really get her, oh, well, I don't know. And put it to the side. A couple of months go by, the victim will call and say, hey, what's going on with the case? You know, to tell you the truth, we really can't find anything. You know, we did the best we could, and you know, we just can't find them. But we'll let you know if anything. Then all of a sudden, your case is closed because they decided not to continue to look into it. Oh wait, hold on, I don't know what happened here. What the hell? Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened there. A video just started out of nowhere. That's what happened.
I'm driving drunk. Oh, come on. That's bullshit.
Okay, hold on, guys. Let me. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. So that's why. Because the police department, a lot of times, they don't follow up on it. Unless the girl was brutally raped. And when I mean brutally, I mean to the point where she's battered and bruised and laying in the hospital. Because even if you just go to the hospital and you were just raped and they give a rape kit and all this and that, they put it on the back burner. They say, oh, we tried. We can't find the guy. Sorry. It is what it is. Unless they find the guy in the DNA system. Then they match him. They question him. Okay, now he's arrested. They have his DNA. Now you're going to go through court. But then guess what? You're hoping and praying. You're like, oh, my God, I hope he gets like 10 years, you know. And then all of a sudden, he gets convicted and he only does 3 years. And now you still have to worry about your life and look over your shoulders because he's going to be out in 3 years. Who knows? He could have intimidated you and threatened you while going through the case. Had his flying monkeys come and aid and abet, enable him, assist him in doing harm to you.
Yeah, mine's far away.
So, I wanted to go over where is, okay. Now I'm going to go off screen, guys. I can't see your comments in the moment. I'm going to read this piece off, okay? And this article is from Crunchyroll, okay? And this was posted June 14th, 2008. Let me see. Hold on. I'm a little blind, so I need to bring this up a little bit. Just a little bit so I can see. I'm going to try not to stutter, but it's hard because I can't see. What the hell is this? Okay. Something popped up. And like I said, this is a article that was posted June 14th of 2008. And it talks about R. Kelly's trial for the child's porn. Now, it starts off with June 12th, 2008 at 7:17 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. R. Kelly's child pornography trial. A timeline of events before and during the courtroom drama we lead you through the key moments surrounding the increasingly complex case.
That's fucking stupid.
And this article is by Jennifer Vineyard,
Oh, look. All right.
or Vineyard,
Come.
shall I say. Excuse me. R. Kelly's child pornography trial has followed a long and complicated course since news about the videotape, in which Kelly is allegedly depicted having sex with an underage girl. First, it broke in February of 2002.
Don't fall.
Now, here's a look at key events surrounding the increasingly complex case.
All you gotta do is come over here, jump on this, right? Now,
Okay. It starts off by saying
the cops will
January 8th,
wait till they disappear.
1967, Robert Sylvester Kelly was born in Chicago, the third of 4 children. Now,
The safe house right here.
1991, R. Kelly meets manager Barry Hankerson's niece, Aaliyah Houghton.
And this.
She was 12 years old at the time. Okay, let's understand that. R. Kelly met Aaliyah when she was 12 in 1991. When R. Kelly met Aaliyah in 1991, he was also with the other girls, known as the Clique, right? I forgot the name of the group, but they had their name. They had a group name. And it was Tiffany, Javante, and maybe 1 or 2 other girls that were in the Clique. Right? I forgot the name of it. Does anybody remember what he named the girls, what the Clique was for the name of the girls?
Oh, you see how the safe house is right here? Yo, when the cop level's right on top of your ass, yo, dude, especially at night.
Please make sure you hit that like button. Thank you. Hold on.
Yo, when I sit there, yo, none of the cops. That means your heat level can be 5. You can have a chopper on you with the special SWAT.
Give me a second. Sorry about that, guys. You know, interruptions in the background. Y'all already know the fam. Okay. So now, R. Kelly meets Aaliyah. She was 12 years old. And it says, Kelly goes on to produce her 1994 debut, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. This is also the year that Tiffany Hawkins claims that she began a sexual relationship with Kelly and that he talked her into participating in group sex with other underage girls. According to her 1996 lawsuit, she was 15 at the time. She was 14 when she met R. Kelly. Allegedly 15 when she started having sex with him. You know, had a relationship with him. freaking computer. Give me 1 second, guys. It's freezing up on me here. Is that it's raining over here too? Hold on 1 moment. All right. Sorry about that, guys. So now, the R. Kelly trial in a brief. Okay? Mom! Hold on. Mom. Sorry about that, guys. Once again, my apologies. Please forgive me. I will one day get it together with me being alone in a room. I will. Okay, so now we're going to read the R. Kelly trial in a little brief. Now, the status of the trial is that jury deliberations began on June 12th. Now, the charges was that R. Kelly was facing 14 counts of child pornography, 7 for directing, and then 7 for producing. So he was being charged with 7 counts of child pornography for directing the videos, as well as 7 counts for producing the video. Now, I don't understand why he didn't get charged with acting in the video, which should have led to statutory rape. I don't understand why the government didn't charge him with that. I'm very confused by that. That annoys me. It really bothers me. So the next thing was that what was at stake? Hey, Mom. Kelly was facing, hold on, Joshua, please stop. It's Friday, y'all. It's fuckery Friday. You know how that go. Sorry again. What's at stake is that R. Kelly at that time was facing 15 years in prison and a $100,000 fine if he was convicted. And he would have had to register as a sex offender. He didn't want to do those things. So he did everything in his power to try to hide it and cover it up, allegedly. Because this case is still open. He hasn't been convicted on it. So I will say allegedly. Okay? Now, the R. Kelly trial reports that in 1994, Kelly meets his future wife, Andrea Lee, when she auditions to be a dancer for the 12 Play Tour. She was 20 at the time. However, he first marries 15-year-old Aaliyah using a falsified marriage certificate that lists her age as 18. This happened in August. Then in 1995, 6 months after the wedding, Aaliyah's marriage was annulled. Oh, God, this computer's freezing. Oh, that's annoying. Fuckery Friday, for real. This is one of these days, guys. It's one of these days. Things are not working out for me right now in the moment. Darn it to hay. Oh, Lord. Like, I don't know what happened, espérate, que it just disappears and then it gets frozen.
The red one?
It's my service. My service is tweaking. Come on. I'm trying to get the screen back. So give me a moment, guys. But you see what's happening. You see what's going on, the timeline. You see how he tried to save his image quickly by marrying Andrea. So, you know, I do believe in my heart that he just used Andrea as a cover-up for himself. He didn't love her. I think he was just in love with the idea of having a family. You know what I mean? But he created a whole nother family before his family, before he had his children. You know, and his family consisted of Tiffany, Javante, you know, Aaliyah eventually, and the other girls along with Demetrius and Andre the Giant, as we know him, you know, and the fellas from Public Announcement and everyone else that was in his circle at that time. You know, allegedly it was even Sharon Winbush was in there. She was in the kitchen cooking. I don't know. You know what I mean? So these were the things that were going on. All between 1991 and 1995, all these things were going on. That's why Andrea was very confused and she didn't understand my fucking computer. And she didn't understand what was going on. She was like, how is it that he's doing all these things? When she finally found out, like, how was he doing all these things? As we all know, because he had helpers, he had enablers. His peoples was all there. His circle was right there. All those people that got paid off to shut up. All of them paid off to shut up. You didn't hear his song telling everybody to shut up? He had people in a trance. I don't understand what's going on my screen. Here we go. What is going on here? No. That's why some other thing popped up on my screen. What the hell? No, what is this here? Okay, I'm sorry, guys. My screen is... Okay, so now, as we know, that they had their marriage annulled in 1995 in February when her parents found out. Do you hear me? When her parents found out is when her marriage was annulled. The reason why her marriage was annulled and it was null and void is because she was underage and she did not have her parents' permission to marry R. Kelly. They had a secret wedding. He whisked her up in the middle of the night. And that's another thing, is how is it that R. Kelly's mother and father, right, were always around? They were always around. If they were always around, then how the hell did Aaliyah get to leave in the middle of the night to go to fly from Florida to Chicago to get married? How is that? If her mother was there, can you answer that question for me? How is this possible if her mother was always there? I think I would have known if my daughter would have crept out the house in the middle of the night. If R. Kelly and his goons would have came and I would have noticed she was gone the next morning, like, where is she? What the hey, who, huh? Where is she? I'm putting out a police report. Where my daughter at? Somebody better tell me where is she at. We're going to have problems. Right? So now, Uncle Barry knows about what happened. He knows that there was a settlement with the family. There was issues going on. Now there's problems within the camp. Like Javante said in the documentary, he ruined the perfect family. He ruined a lot of people's lives at that one time. And the messed up thing about it is that Barry Hankerson continued to work with R. Kelly after that, up until the year 2000. So he worked for R. Kelly 5 more years after he married Aaliyah. So he did what he had to do because he needed to continue to get that cash cow. He's fighting with his sister. Allegedly, the family's feuding. Okay? People are hiding things for R. Kelly. Everybody's whispering. The rumors were flying around. It went public. Now the whole world knows. Right? So now what? Right? So now 1996 comes up. Now R. Kelly decides to marry Andrea in December. And this was the same year that Tiffany Hawkins filed a lawsuit against R. Kelly. Okay? So now he gets his marriage annulled in 1995. A few months later, to almost a year, he marries Andrea. And then Tiffany files a lawsuit. Then in 1998 comes, now 2 years later rolls by. And in January of 1998, R. Kelly settles his lawsuit with Tiffany Hawkins for $250,000. Then, that same year, in 1998, in December, so in the beginning of the year, he settled his lawsuit. At the end of the year in December, R. Kelly encounters 16-year-old Patrice Jones while she is out on her prom date. And she wound up suing him in 2002. So Patrice Jones was one of the young ladies who was a Jane Doe in the Eastern District of New York trial. I don't remember which one she is, but she was one of those girls who was in the trial, who was a witness victim. She was part of the bad acts, the uncharged acts that R. Kelly was, that they used in the trial to convict R. Kelly, to show the modus of operandi, his MO, his motive, his patterns of his behavior. Then, somewhere between 1998 of January and October of 2000, Chicago prosecutors claimed that R. Kelly made the sex tape at the center of the trial with an underage girl, which was allegedly supposed to be his goddaughter, who they say was 14 years old at the time. So now pops up Rashonda Landfair. And then in 1998, according to the lawsuit, Patrice Jones claims that in June she was pregnant and that in September R. Kelly persuaded her to have an abortion. So now 1999 is rolling around. Now he's having sex with Rashonda Landfair, and he's going through another lawsuit with another young lady. And then in 2000, in April, R. Kelly begins to have a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old record label intern, which I think she was 16, not 17. So that's wrong. And her name was Tracy Sampson. Now, according to her 2001 lawsuit, in December, the Chicago Sun-Times publishes an article about the investigation and R. Kelly's patterns of pursuing underage girls for sex. And the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services also wound up launching a probe into the investigation. All of this is happening. And R. Kelly's still doing what he's got to do to fulfill the gratification of his sexual addiction to young girls. He's an epiphile. Epiphile, however you say it. He is. It's epiphilia. Epiphilia. AKA, to top it all off, the grand scheme of it is he's a pedophile. Period. Now, in 2001, in August, Tracy Sampson files a lawsuit. Okay? Aaliyah dies in a plane crash at the age of 22. At the same time, Aaliyah dies, and another lawsuit comes into play, and it's Tracy Sampson's lawsuit, claiming that he started to have sex with her as she was underage, and he used to force her into things. Now, in 2002, in February, the Sun-Times receives the videotape at the center of the trial from an anonymous source. Right? They give the tape to the police, who say the girl was 14 at the time. Hold on one second. Now, the Sun-Times received the videotape at the center of the trial from an anonymous source. They give the tape to the police, who say the girl's 14 at the time. Now, news of the tape breaks as R. Kelly is about to sing at the Olympics opening ceremony. Now, he proclaims his innocence in an interview, right? And by the end of the month, bootlegs of the tapes are available on the streets and on the internet. Now, in April, we know that Sparkle identified Rashonda Landfair on the tape as her niece. Just as R. Kelly settles the Sampson lawsuit for $50,000 and Patrice Jones files hers, in May, Kelly sits down with MTV to address the scandal, right? And he declares that I'm no monster. Now, he did that way back then in 2000. Fast forward to Gayle King. He still says he's no monster. It's just rumors, right? All these years, you were a monster then, you're a monster now. Nothing changed. So by the end of the month, a fourth woman settles with R. Kelly before filing a lawsuit. And a fifth one, Montina Woods, sues for invasion of privacy, accusing him of secretly taping their of age sexual encounters in his recording studio. Because remember, she was in her 20s. But he invaded her privacy because the videotapes of Montina Woods having sex with R. Kelly. If you guys saw the video, Montina Woods is the one in the video with the braids where he's eating a booty in the chair. That was Montina. That was Montina Woods. Okay? That was Montina Woods. So her videos, her shit was all out there. You damn right I'm going to sue his ass. You damn right. I didn't give you permission to videotape me. You didn't even ask me. Then in June, R. Kelly is arrested in his Florida home on 21 counts of child pornography. He posted a $750,000 bond when he surrenders to Chicago authorities. Shortly after, he releases a song called Heaven, I Need a Hug. And then his brother Carrie, concerned over rumors that the defense would suggest it was him on the tape, turns up at court to discuss it with R. Kelly. That's when he allegedly said that R. Kelly said, listen, if you take the rap for me and say it was you, I'll give you $50,000 and a singing contract. And then Bruce Kelly's like, in the documentary says, you know what? If it would have been me, I would have done it. I don't know why he didn't do that. Why didn't he just take that deal? What? You're bugging. Carrie Kelly was smart not to do it. Bruce was like, whatever. I need the money. I want the contract. Money is funny. When people see money, people get funny when they see money. Okay? Let's just remember that. Money makes people act funny. Okay? Now, that was in 2002, right? Now we're coming into 2003. Hey, Midnight Oasis. What's up, mama? Hello, everyone that just came into the building. What's up, Noonie? Hey, T-Bam. Fat boy. What's up, Poppy? Now, 2003 comes in. Joshua. Hold on one second. Sorry about that, guys. Y'all know already. So 2003 comes rolling around. Now, in January, R. Kelly is arrested again on 16 additional charges. Now, at this time, they went and got a warrant, a fugitive warrant on R. Kelly. Because, you see, in 2002, he was arrested, brought himself in, bailed himself out. He was out on bail, left the state of Chicago to go to Florida. So when they went to arrest him in Florida, they did an illegal search and seizure. Okay? Now in January of 2003, R. Kelly's arrested on 16 additional charges of child porn in Miami. When authorities say they found photos of a nude underage girl while searching his residence during the previous arrest. You understand? So they went over there to pick him up on 2002 charges and wound up bringing more charges because they found stuff they shouldn't have found. So they figured since they found that, they could add it, but being that it was illegal search and seizure, the Florida judge dropped it. So now the Florida charges are later dismissed due to an anomaly in the search warrant. And the whole thing was that because he had private do not enter, and they went in that room without the permission. You see how slick he is? Then, despite R. Kelly's failure to phone his probation officer while shooting a video in January in Florida, Judge Vincent Gahn overlooks protest from prosecutors and grants the singer permission to leave the state for 2 brief tours, one in August and one in October. Did you hear that? He wasn't supposed to leave the state. The prosecutors were protesting this, like, yo, what the fuck? Why is he not arrested on this warrant charge? What do you mean you're dropping it and you're giving him permission to travel so he can continue doing this to girls for 2 more months in other states? And the judge is like, let him go, let him go. He'll be all right. He needs to make money. Let him do what he's got to do. It's just child pornography. Right? Now, in January, we're still in 2003 now, R. Kelly makes his first major concert appearance since the scandal began at a radio concert in New Jersey. And he releases his Chocolate Factory album the following month. And then it enters the Billboard albums chart at number 1. He also releases a greatest hits album, the R in R&B Collection, Volume 1, in September. Then in 2004, R. Kelly gets 2 victories. First, 7 of the 21 counts against him in Chicago are dropped in February due to misuse of the exact language in the law. 2 weeks later, the judge in his Florida case suppresses the photos that police found, causing the case to be dropped. Then, bolstered by the mini tours, R. Kelly asks the court in July for permission for a full-fledged outing, which he later announces as the Best of Both World Tour with Jay-Z. And at the Chicago date, R. Kelly shows up 2.5 hours after showtime and uses honey-colored showers and dancers clad in orange mock prisoners' jumpsuits on stage, causing prosecutors to ask for a tape of the show. The next night's show in Cincinnati is canceled, and that Kelly leaves the stage midway through the St. Louis date after an argument about the lighting, and spends the rest of the evening working the drive-thru at a McDonald's. And then during the New York date in October, R. Kelly leaves the stage after announcing that 2 men in the audience threatened him with guns, and later claims he was also attacked with pepper spray. The tour falls apart, and R. Kelly blames Jay-Z's entourage for the alleged attack and sues him for sabotaging the tour. Then in November, news of another sex tape surfaces. This one involving R. Kelly and Gary Sheffield's wife, DeLeon Richards, who admits to being involved with the singer 10 years earlier when she was a teenager. Now remember, this is 2004, guys. So 10 years earlier is what? 1994, right? Am I right on that? So when she was a teenager, so like I said, so that was 10 years earlier. Okay, so 1994 is the same time he was with Aaliyah and everybody else. She was one of those girls wrapped up with R. Kelly as his girlfriend, aka girlfriend. She was in a relationship with him, allegedly. She did it. Well, I shouldn't say allegedly because she did admit to it that she was in a relationship with him. Okay. And then a Chicago man is later found guilty of extorting Sheffield. Now, we all know that that is Derek Mosley. Derek Mosley was convicted and he did 2 years. Okay. He was found guilty of extortion. Thank you, Papi. Of extortion by extorting the Sheffields after demanding $20,000 from them from a sports agent, okay, to stop the release of the tape. So he was trying to get $20,000, you know what I mean? And then he said, well, if I don't get the $20,000, I'm going to release the tape of R. Kelly with this lady who was a teenager. Thank you, baby. So then that happens, right? Oh, let me get something to drink. Hold on. So now, after that, here comes the month of May, 2004. We're still in 2004, guys. In May, R. Kelly is granted permission to travel and perform at New York radio station Hot 97's Summer Jam concert in June 12th in New Jersey. And at the show, he is insulted on stage by 50 Cent. Insulted. In this concert at the Summer Jam, the Hot 97 Summer Jam concert on June 12th in 2004, that was in New Jersey, at the show, he was insulted on stage by 50 Cent. Then in August, R. Kelly releases the double album, Happy People, You Saved Me. The album debuts at number 2 on the Billboard Albums chart. Just 2 months later, he releases a joint album with Jay-Z entitled Unfinished Business, which debuts at number 1. Now remember, guys, R. Kelly was not convicted. R. Kelly was charged. He was indicted in 2002. So all of these things are going on while he's waiting for trial to begin. So now, 2005 rolls in. Jay-Z decides to... Sorry, that was an accident. Sorry, that was an accident. Nikki, hold on. Did I unhide it? Okay, I did. What's up, Nikki? Hi, Mama. What's up, Nicole? Nikki, I haven't seen you in a minute. Please type for me, Nikki, to make sure I undid whatever. Please. And I went to grab my phone and I pressed whatever the hell by accident here. Nikki. Nikki 6. Mama, type for me, please. Oh my God, what did I do? Okay, it says I unhid you. Please make sure, please type again, Nikki. West Coast, what's up, Mama? Nikki 6. Type in the chat for me, baby. Oh my God. Right, she's unhidden, so she could type, right? Oh my God, please tell me. Because if not, I'm going to have to. I didn't block her, right? Oh my God. I went to move my phone because my husband brought me my soup. Shit. I don't know. Right, she's unhidden. Hold on one second, guys. Oh, man. Nikki 6. Nikki 6. Type in the chat for me, baby. Sorry, guys. I had to go on mute for a moment. I got to receive the phone call. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, so where were we? We were talking about how 2005, now we're into 2005. Now, Jay-Z countersues in February, but a New York judge throws it out a few months later. Andrea, which is Kelly's wife of nearly 10 years, seeks a restraining order against him in September, claiming he attacked her when she asked for a divorce. She later recants, but moves out of the home. So she wound up recanting her story, okay, allegedly claiming about the attack, but she asked for the divorce, and then she moved out. So in 2005, she moves out of the home. Meanwhile, R. Kelly's popular Trapped in the Closet song and video series was rolling out in installments throughout 2005 and 2006. Now, we know that Trapped in the Closet provided a comic and popular distraction from his legal woes. In July, he releases TP3 Reloaded, which debuts at number 1. Now, in 2006, Carrie Kelly claimed that R. Kelly offered him $50,000, a record deal, and a house in exchange for saying that he was the man in the sex tape at the center of the criminal case. So Carrie said that he refused it. And then in April of 2006, Jay-Z's cousin, Tyran, a.k.a. Ty Smith, confesses to pepper spraying R. Kelly and 4 of his bodyguards at the New York Best of Both Worlds tour. So that's why R. Kelly wound up getting $750,000 from Jay-Z. So in February, now this is all while he's waiting trial, guys. This is all happening before his trial starts. Now, in February of 2005, R. Kelly announces his Light It Up tour, which begins the following month. Now comes 2007. Now, 2007 comes. Despite being separated, right, R. Kelly's wife defends him in May, claiming he isn't the man in the sex tape, even though she said she hadn't seen it. Kelly's trial date is set for September 17th, only to be pushed back when the main prosecutor winds up giving birth. So now they push the date because the prosecutor's giving birth. Also, in September, R. Kelly's longtime publicist, Regina Daniels, quits mysteriously after 14 years, saying that he crossed the line. She later claims that Kelly had a sexual relationship with her daughter. A number of artists, including Lupe Fiasco, Chris Brown, Swizz Beatz, and T-Pain, say they don't believe the case has done Kelly's career much harm. Because it really didn't back then at all. People were like more into R. Kelly, like they are now. People are more curious. That's why his streaming numbers went up. You know, people are still supporting him no matter what. They're not going to stop because they really do love this man. They believe this man can do no wrong. He's a human being. We all fuck up sometimes. Nobody's perfect. He's not a god. He's a real man who has real troubles. And he's really a pervert. And he really likes little girls. And he really has abused everyone in his circle. Everyone. Emotionally, mentally, financially, physically. He has abused everyone. Whoever he was able to do it to, he did it to. A lot of them backed up from R. Kelly like, hell no, bro, I ain't. What? You crazy. Like our boy Dre. Dre was not a yes man. That's why he couldn't hang with R. Kelly like that after a while. He's not a yes man. Even though him and R. Kelly was still good friends, there's still, he still got love for him. He's still his boy no matter what. But R. Kelly did a lot of fucked up shit to him. But at the end of the day, he still got love for him. Right? Right. Then in December, a fan snaps a picture of R. Kelly in court, only to get 5 days in the county jail. R. Kelly nearly gets jail time himself as the judge issues a bench warrant and nearly revokes his bond when he fails to show for a court date. Wait a minute. Wasn't Greenberg screaming out? He's never missed a court date. He's never missed a court date. He needs to get bailed. He needs bond. He needs to get bailed. He's never missed a court date. Never. But wait a minute. Look what it says here. In December, R. Kelly nearly gets jail time himself as the judge issues a bench warrant and nearly revokes his bond when he fails to show for a court date. Also in December, the trial receives a new start date of May 9th of 2008. Let me get something to drink. Okay? So, Joshua! Hold on. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Sorry guys for the interruption again. Can you guys hear me? Sorry about that. I'm gonna have to make a part 2 to this. Because I'm getting too much interruptions and things going on in the background. This is why I really can't go on the way I want to during the daytime and get the daytime audience. I gotta come out at night when the husband's at work and the children are in bed, so that I can have peace and I can have silence, no interruptions. You know what I mean? So again, I apologize, guys, okay, for the interruptions. Please excuse me, forgive me. Thank you. Sorry, guys. All right, so as I was saying, they decided to start a new trial date of May 9th of 2008. Now, 2007, Kelly releases a new album titled Double Up, and he did that in May of 2007. The album becomes Kelly's 6th #1 debut on Billboard's album chart. Then in August, he releases further installments of Trapped in the Closet, and after initially denying through a representative that he was planning a fall tour. Now, Kelly launches the Double Up trek in November, which stretches into January. Early in the tour, R. Kelly drops support act Neo, claiming paperwork problems, while Neo claims the reason for his ejection is because his performance was stronger than R. Kelly's. Now, 2008 pops up. Neo sues in January for breach of contract for being fired from the Double Up tour, while the judge orders R. Kelly to cancel a show so as not to miss a court appearance the following day. In February, Regina and George Daniels clarify that Kelly had a sexual relationship with their college-age daughter, whom the singer has known since she was 7. Now, don't tell me that that's not a predator. He's known that baby girl since she was 7 years old. He had his eyes on her since she was a little girl. That's what I think. And I don't blame the Daniels for doing what they did. Not messing with him anymore. They couldn't press charges or nothing because, it was a consensual relationship. And obviously she didn't report any abuse. And I'm pretty sure R. Kelly didn't abuse her because he knew who her parents were. And maybe, because R. Kelly didn't do that to every girl that came his way. Only certain girls that he knew he could take advantage of. The younger, the better. Now, on May 3rd, 2008, the Saturday before the trial is scheduled to begin, the Chicago Sun-Times reports that a woman will testify that she was involved in a 3-way sexual encounter with Kelly and the girl in the videotape, and that the girl in the videotape was underage at the time. Now, this takes place when the woman in question, Lisa Van Allen, testifies the following month. On May 7th, R. Kelly's lawyer, Ed Jensen, asks for the trial to be delayed yet again because of the torrent of publicity over the weekend. referring to the Sun-Times report. The request is denied. So the day before the trial begins, the Sun-Times reports another strong allegation that a R. Kelly aide paid Lisa Van Allen for the return of an incriminating sex tape featuring R. Kelly. So on May 9th, more than 5 years after news of the videotape broke, jury selection for the trial finally begins. After a pair of near comical incidents, including a strong bathroom smell in the jury room and a colorful potential juror, jury selection is completed the following week. Now, on the first day, following opening arguments, the prosecution surprisingly plays the tape for the court. Okay? On the first day, following opening arguments, the prosecutors surprisingly play the tape for the court, which had been expected to be presented later in the trial. Now, Kelly and the jurors appear uncomfortable while viewing it. In the following days, several people close to the girl who allegedly appears in the tape, including family members, friends, and former R. Kelly protege Sparkle, the girl's aunt, and Kelly's former assistant, who claims she is 110% certain it's Kelly in the tape. Now, we all know that the Kelly's former assistant, who claims she is 110% certain it's Kelly in the tape, is Lindsay Perriman, right? And she also testified to the girl's identity. So she said, yes, that's R. Kelly, and yes, that's Rashonda Landfair. However, several other family members later testified that the girl in the tape is not their relative. And a visibly pregnant Lisa Van Allen, the threesome woman, also identifies the girl in the tape and testifies that she had 3 sexual encounters with her and Kelly, 2 of which were videotaped. Van Allen alleges that she was paid $20,000 for the return of a copy of an incriminating tape. After being offered, she was offered $250,000 for an original. So, allegedly, Lisa Van Allen was paid $20,000 for the return of the copy of the tape. And then she was offered $250,000 for the original copy. Now, the defense gives notice that they will call convicted felon Damon Pryor, the father of Van Allen's 5-year-old daughter, in an effort to discredit her testimony. Now, an expert called by the prosecution testifies that there is no way that the tape at the center of the trial could have been faked. Reporter Jim DeRogatis, who received the videotape from an anonymous source and broke the story in 2002, is ordered to testify but fails to appear in court. He appears the following day and takes the Fifth Amendment. Then the prosecution rested on June 2nd. The defense case, which began on June 4th, attempted to dismantle the credibility of the state's witnesses, keying on a distinctive mole on Kelly's lower back. The prosecution's forensic video analysis slowed down a half second's worth of footage from the sex tape and showed that the mole on the man in the video's back was visible. But then the defense expert testified that this dark mark on the man's back was no mole. Since it came and went, making it a possible artifact of electronic noise. So the prosecution was like, no. Their expert witness was like, no, that's not a fake. This is a real video. This is not fake. And the reason why that mark on his back is there is because of the depiction of the tape. It has nothing to do with the mole moving or not moving. It has nothing to do with that. There is no mole. So the defense team's expert made a version of the tape in which he put a background of the log cabin room in Kelly's home on a loop, then placed the man and the girl on the sex tape in a superimposed layer, and then made their heads disappear while they were having sex. Still, he conceded there would be evidence of fakery, and the defense did not offer any suggestions as to lookalike's identity, nor did his lawyers present any evidence or witnesses regarding the room where the tape was shot to demonstrate who else may have had access. So the defense also suggested that many people would want to set Kelly up, including Van Allen, arguing that she is the type of person who would demand money in exchange for not testifying. And former protege Sparkle insinuating that she was bitter over being dropped from Kelly's record label. Also, former manager Barry Hankerson, whose niece was Aaliyah, and Chicago Sun-Times reporter Jim DeRogatis, although the jury did not hear from the latter two individuals. So the defense was trying to say that it's a plot to set up R. Kelly, and all these people wanted to set him up. Now, to counter the dozen people, 4 relatives, 3 childhood friends, along with 3 of their parents and 2 basketball coaches who identified the girl on the tape, the defense presented 3 separate relatives who denied it was the girl in question. Now, the defense rested unexpectedly quickly after just 2 days of testimony from 12 witnesses, with neither Kelly nor the girl, who allegedly appears in the video, taking the stand. So neither R. Kelly or the girl who was in the video did not take the stand. So on June 10th, Kelly spoke for the first time during the trial and waived his right to testify. That's all he did. Then closing arguments were heard on June 12th, and the jury began deliberations. They were sequestered overnight. Now, in this trial in Eastern District of New York that just went on, he had a partial anonymous sequestered jury. In this trial, they were only sequestered overnight. Now, June 14th, 2008, R. Kelly jurors agreed that the singer was on the sex tape. Wow! What do you know, guys? The jurors agreed that R. Kelly was on the tape. What do you know? What do you know? Isn't that special, y'all? Okay? So, the jurors agreed that on June 14th of 2008, that was the singer on the sex tape. They just weren't sure about the girl. Plus, alternate jurors say they were leaning toward a guilty verdict. Now, the jurors in the R. Kelly case and in the trial, they didn't doubt whether it was the singer on the tape. They just doubted whether it was the girl prosecutors say it was and her age. One of the jurors said, "I thought it was R. Kelly on the tape." Juror number 9 said, "After the verdict was rendered, I just wasn't 100% on the girl." Now, the 5 jurors who agreed to speak to the press following their not guilty verdict said they felt the state hadn't presented enough evidence and that having the alleged victim on the stand would have made the difference. Now, the key problem was the identity of the female. That's what juror number 23 said. Her absence was a major lack. Now, the family was too divided, said juror number 9, who in the preliminary votes had voted for a guilty verdict. Said, so you had to discount the family testimony either way. They had to discount the family's testimonies because they said it was not her and the girl never showed up to the trial. I wonder why. R. Kelly was hiding her in his garage on the tour bus, paid her and her family to go on a trip across the world so they couldn't find her. Isn't that special? Huh? Isn't that special? So then, this didn't mean that the jurors bought all the defense arguments wholesale. The missing mole, for instance, was a non-issue, they said. They didn't want to examine the video any further either. One of the jurors said, I've seen that video way too many times, juror number 21 said. She said the first time was too many. Being sequestered and the prospect of remaining sequestered over Father's Day was not a factor in their quick verdict, they said. Now, the trial in a brief. Now, the status of the trial. R. Kelly was found not guilty on all counts of child pornography on June 13th. The charges Kelly faced were 14 counts of child pornography, 7 for directing and 7 for producing. As we know, what was at stake? Kelly was facing 15 years and a $100,000 fine. Now, one of the jurors had said, we wanted to go home, but we knew what we had to do. Juror number 21 said that. Nodding in agreement was juror number 40, who just earlier that day had asked to be relieved of duty. Had he or juror number 40 been relieved, the vote would have gone differently, said the 3 alternates who were dismissed earlier in the day. Jurors number 65, 73, and 72 said in a separate news conference before the verdict was rendered that they were leaning toward guilty. My opinion leans towards that it is him with the girl in the video, said juror number 65. Things might have also gone differently had evidence of Kelly's marriage to the then 15-year-old Aaliyah or the criminal sexual conduct lawsuits against him been part of the case, the seated jurors said, but that was not what they were given to consider. So the jurors were like, if all those other things were put in, maybe he would have looked more guilty and it would have been more convincing to the jurors. Then maybe all of them would have been like, yeah, he's guilty. Now, one of the jurors had said, I don't even know about that. Juror number 23 said. She said, but as jurors, we have to act within the confines of the law and what is legally presented. It's all just speculation, juror number 21 said. Who knows what we would have found otherwise? Finds a review. Okay, sorry. No. Okay. And that is the end of that. So that's basically what happened in the trial. You know, they didn't have the prosecution. They didn't do a good job. They really did not do a good job. They didn't do a good job of presenting their case. And also the fact that, well, not that they didn't do a good job, because according to Larry, I believe, and Jim DeRogatis, he was talking about it, that they dropped a bunch of charges and things of evidence that they decided not to put in for his case. That the judge was like, no, that's not going to be submitted in the trial. Nope, that we're not going to put that in. Nope. So a lot of charges were a lot of evidentiary. They must have went through a lot of evidentiary hearings in order for the judge, you know, a lot of motions to go in for the evidence, to submit evidence and to dismiss evidence. And my screen went out again. Damn it to hell. All right, so my screen is here. My screen is disappeared. It disappeared again. Okay, come on, pop up now. Okay, here we go. So, as I was saying, they were doing a lot of motions in the pretrial phase to get rid of evidence and to admit evidence. So a lot of the stuff was thrown out. A lot of the stuff did not go into the case. All right, so let me close that. Less things open, the better for me. Okay. All right. Let me go to you guys here. All right, give me 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna have to go on a quickie real quick. Commercial time real quick, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, lend me your ears and your eyes. Diva Divine Light, live from Brooklyn, New York.
with no delaying for what you saying, yo. Still it with my 9 million with the dilly, yo. When I be on the mic, yes, I do my duty, yo. While up in the club, every while in the studio. You don't wanna violate, nigga, really and truly, yo. My main thug, nigga named Julio, he moody, yo. Like a nigga that'll slap you with the toolie, yo. Bitch, nigga scared to death, act fruity, yo. Fuck that, look at shorty, she a little cutie, yo. The way you shake it, nigga, you wanna get all in the booty, yo. With no delaying for what you saying, yo.
Diva Divine Light.
Really my party to me. Fuck me, see what you got for me. Put more than dance with my eyes to see. Strong up, dollar in the place to be. If you really my party to me. Fuck me, see what you got for me. Put more than dance with my eyes to see. Strong up, dollar in the place to be. If you.
You're watching Diva, the Divine Light. A fun-loving, caring, passionate person who talks about sex, celebrity, and real-life issues, and even abuse. So hit that like button and make sure you share the show.
Really my party to me. Fuck me, see what you got for me. Put more than dance with my eyes to see. Strong up, dollar in the place to be. If you really my party to me. Fuck me, see what you got for me. Put more than dance with my eyes to see. Strong up, dollar in the place to be. If you really my party to me. Fuck me, see what you got for me. Put more than dance with my eyes to see. Strong up, dollar in the place to be. If you really my party to me. Fuck me, see what you got for me. Put more than dance with my eyes to see. Strong up, dollar in the place to be. If you.
Here comes the pitch, and it comes in wide. On the go.
Okay, guys. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to step off for a quick second. Quick 2 minutes. So you guys, so now we see what happened, right? Now I just want us to listen to a little bit of Lisa Van Allen's testimony to Vlad TV. All right. So I don't want to play I'm going to play it, but I can't share it. All right. So let me. Okay, let me go here. All right, now this clip is going to speak about Lisa Van Allen and how she stole the tape from R. Kelly and selling it back to him. Okay?
So you're back in a relationship with R. Kelly, and I mean, he's essentially supporting you and your daughter now.
Yes.
Okay. At what point did you start?
Yes.
Okay. Essentially supporting you. You're back in a relationship with. So you're back in a relationship with R. Kelly, and I mean, he's essentially supporting you and your daughter now.
Yes.
Okay. At what point did you start going through his tapes and start finding some of the various tapes?
That was back in either 99 or 2000.
So that was before you actually moved
Yes.
and came back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because at one point you actually started taking some of the tapes.
I just took one.
You took one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The
And
one
I was
that you were in.
Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was in
You were actually
multiple, but I found that I just ran across one that I was in.
Okay. And why did you take that one particular tape when there's a whole bunch of tapes with you?
It's just the only one I was able to run into at that moment. If I would have seen more with me on them, I would have took those two.
Okay. And the tape that ultimately came out in court later, was that one of the tapes that you saw during that time?
No, the one that came out in court is not. The people on the tape, I recognize them, but no, that wasn't one of the tapes that I looked at.
Okay. I mean, and we'll talk about that in a bit, but, in that particular tape, there's like urination and stuff like that. Were you doing any of that stuff with him yourself or no?
No, he actually did ask me about urinating on my butt. And I told him, I didn't tell him anything. Actually, I just kind of laughed it off and was like, kind of like that. So he has a way of kind of fishing for what he can and can't do and to you and things like that. So when he saw that I didn't just right away agree with it, then he knew that wasn't nothing I was interested in doing. So it never came up again.
Okay. But you went ahead and stole this tape and then you gave it to one of his artists?
Yes.
Can you say who that was?
Yeah, his name was Keith. It was when he was in his group Talent. It was actually, they became friends of mine because they were staying in one of the same hotels that I had a room in. And Rob would give them only $25 to eat with. This is what they told me. And they would see me ordering all this room service and stuff. Like if they walk by the hallway and see my trays, out in the hall and stuff. And they were, I said, well, I can order y'all food. So that's how we got cool. So I would just order them food all the time. And, that's how we became cool.
Okay. So now you have this tape. You gave it to one of his artists to hold. And this is before the charges and everything?
Yes. Well, he had actually it was, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Okay.
And at one point he finds out that you took that tape.
Yeah, he did. He found out.
And how did that go?
That was in 2007. Yeah, he found out about it. And he actually asked me to come to Chicago. And I came to Chicago. We talked about it. He asked me, did I think I could get possession of it? And I told him I did. And I actually spoke with Keith and got him to come to Chicago with the tape.
Okay. So I guess Kelly's lawyers said that you tried to get $300,000 for that tape.
Yeah, no. We didn't try to get anything for anything.
Okay,
No,
so
he actually... No, he did give them money for the tape, but he gave them, it was his idea. He said, I will give you $250,000 for the tape.
He offered
So it wasn't,
money.
they didn't say, oh, if you give me, I
Right,
have
he
this
offered
and
money.
if you want it, you get, no, they didn't even want to deal with him. They didn't want to talk to him. They didn't want to give him the tape, nothing. So no, it wasn't anything like that.
Okay, but you just offered him $250,000. So
Yeah, he did. He offered them, but they'd be, when you take it, if somebody offers you some money,
no,
that's not blackmail if you offered it,
Exactly.
And
So.
were you involved in that financial transaction? Did you get part of that money?
I was involved in it, yes, because I was the one who had to convince them to come. I was the one who had to go get the lie detector test done, things like that. So yes, I was.
Okay. And can you say how much you got out of that?
It ended up being, because it was several trips, I had to take 100,000.
Okay, so you got 100 and Keith got 150.
He ended up with 100 as well.
Okay.
50 never came for no one.
Okay, so each of you got 100,000
In the end, yeah.
in the end. Now at this point, are you and R. Kelly kind of enemies from that whole transaction?
Oh, we weren't until Daryl McDavid threatened my life and said that we should have murked you from the beginning.
And who was that?
Daryl McDavid, he was his accountant / manager at the time.
Okay, so he threatened to kill you over that.
Yeah.
Did anything actually happen?
What do you mean?
I mean, were you roughed up? Did people show up at your house? Or was it just kind of just a vocal threat?
Yeah, it was just a vocal threat. It was a vocal, but that's all I need. I don't know. I'm not going to call his bluff.
Okay. So you guys getting that tape back. Did Keith make copies of it before giving it back?
They did. That's why we ended up having to come back multiple times because when we took the lie detector test the first time, he failed.
Remember, R. Kelly gave $20,000 for a copy of the tape. For the copy, the one that was a copy. And then he paid, it was supposed to be $200,000, $250,000. They only wound up with $100,000 to get back the original copy. Nobody extorted R. Kelly. He offered, Daryl McDavid and R. Kelly offered these people money to get back the tapes. The players in the next Chicago trial for obstruction of justice is Keith Merrill, Daryl McDavid, R. Kelly, Lisa Van Allen, Charles Freeman. Those are the players in his trial for the obstruction of justice portion of the trial. Lisa Van Allen, Keith Merrill, Charles Freeman, Daryl McDavid, June Brown, and R. Kelly. Those are the 6 people in the obstruction of justice charge. Those people are supposedly labeled as individuals A, B, and C, and D. Now I lost my screen again. God. Okay, it's raining out here. Cats and dogs. And the internet is bugging out. Hold on.
Might as well retire.
Okay, I'm getting my screen back, guys. Sorry. Okay, if I'm not doing anything on the screen timer out, I gotta fix that setting. I gotta take that off. Right, only the R. Kelly supporters deny it's him on the tape. Okay, everybody else, and it's only those who've seen it know it was him. And then some people who did see it say it's Damon Pryor. Let's continue.
The question was, were there more copies? And he, I guess, failed multiple times. Because
Giving it back?
they did. That's why we ended up having to come back multiple times. Because when we took the lie detector test the first time, he failed. The question was, were there more copies? And he, I guess he said no. And there were. So that was a whole nother trip to come back. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. A lie detector test for a transaction. I guess when you're talking about this type of thing, then yeah, you got to cover your bases.
Right.
Okay. So that tape gets back to R. Kelly and the copies get destroyed. Does that tape ever surface or come out afterwards or no?
I'm really not sure at this point. I mean, there's some things floating around. We're really not sure what it is at the moment right now. So I really can't say, honestly. We're still trying to get to the bottom of some stuff.
So you're back in a relationship with R. Kelly, and I mean, he's essentially supporting you and your daughter now.
Yes.
Sorry, play it again. Gotta go back. Now, in this one, Lisa is going to talk about how Rashonda Landfair's father, Gregory Landfair, was on the witness stand crying. Okay? And how he worked for her. How Gregory worked for R. Kelly.
The other sex tape comes out. And I remember there was initially some news about it. And I think Wendy Williams was on the radio saying that she'd seen it and she was describing it and so forth. And then I remember I was living in Oakland at the time and I go to the swap meet and there it is. Like literally 30 copies laid out on someone's blanket, being sold.
Right.
Like a Friday bootleg, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, I seeing some footage from that just to see if it was R. Kelly, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's definitely R. Kelly.
Right.
And it was in that Colorado room that we had talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And it was with a girl that looked very, very young.
Yeah.
And that looked very, very young. And it was with a girl that looked very, very young.
Yeah.
And Sparkle claimed that was her niece. Have you ever seen that girl before?
Yes. That's the girl he said that was 16. That was his neighbor.
So this is a girl you did a threesome with?
Yes, that he lied and said was his neighbor originally. That's what he told me.
So he lied to Lisa and said that she was the neighbor, not the goddaughter, the neighbor. Oh, this is my neighbor.
And this story gets very, very kind of fuzzy in terms of that, because that's Sparkle's niece, but Sparkle's brother, I guess, played bass on R. Kelly's albums.
Yes, he's the lead guitarist for a lot of his albums. Like you can Google it and just Google Greg Landfair. That's his name. And it'll kind of show you what songs he's lead guitarist for.
Okay. And was that his daughter or another? That was his daughter.
And after the trial, he still did stuff with him.
And was that his daughter or another? That was his daughter.
And after the trial, he still did stuff with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. I'm just trying to get my head around this. So here you are, you're a father and you're working for this guy and he's paying you to do this, this thing you're passionate about, music.
Mm-hmm.
He ends up having sex with your daughter and then you continue to work with him afterwards.
Right. And he lied under oath because he said it wasn't her. But while he was saying it wasn't her, he was crying. That's what prosecution told me.
Wow.
You're watching the tape of your daughter getting peed on and you're crying. And you're saying it's not her, but you're crying.
Right. And in that tape, that's where the peeing,
the one that went to trial, yes.
That's probably another reason why some of the jurors thought he was guilty too. Even though, like they said, the whole question was the girl. Where is the girl? Why is she not here? We need her here. She is the best evidence we got. The actual victim. There was no victim. She testified to the grand jury it wasn't her. Her family said it wasn't her. But yet, everybody else, a lot of other people that were there who testified, the 14 witnesses, said it was her. Even someone that was for the prosecution said it was her. I mean, not for the prosecution, for the defense said it was her. Lindsay Perriman said, yes, that's her. Yes, that's him. Yes, she was a little girl. Yes. Right? I believe she said she used to pick up Rashonda from school with her book bag, and she would go pick her up from her home and bring her to R. Kelly's house with the sleeping bag and overnight bag and all this stuff, right? Am I right or am I wrong? You know, it's crazy. Now my screen went out again. Jesus Christ. I seriously have to fix that. Because this can't keep happening. What's going on now? Why is anybody calling my son? This is my son! Son!
Okay. Now, the Sparkle story is kind of interesting as well, because I had interviewed two of the members of Public Announcement, and I don't know if you saw that interview or not. But what a lot of people didn't realize was the third member of Public Announcement was this guy named Earl. Were you around Earl at all or no?
No, I did see the other guy though. His name Dre, I think.
Dre and Ricky.
Yeah, Dre. He would be around Rob a lot.
Okay. Well, Earl told one of the other Public Announcement guys that he had seen R. Kelly have sex with Aaliyah, and he left the group because of that. Now, from what I understand, Earl Robinson did see some stuff between R. Kelly and Aaliyah.
Yeah, he said he did.
Okay.
That's what he said. He told me that.
So what did Earl tell you exactly?
Back in the bus.
Having sex?
Yeah.
Did Earl leave the group because of that Aaliyah situation?
Yes. That's exactly why he left. Probably wasn't even a day or two after he told me that he was gone.
Mm-hmm.
But then Earl was married to Sparkle.
Right.
And brought Sparkle to R. Kelly to produce her album.
Because me and Earl worked on her demo. Got it. It was hot. And Earl says to me, he says, hey, take this to Kales. I'm like, not a good idea. I said, it's not a good idea. And he was like, yes, it is. You know, I'm married to her. It's good. So I said, okay. So I took the demo down there. he listened to it. He said, "Oh man, it's hot. Yeah, but I'm gonna have to do this myself." He said, and I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I'm gonna have to produce this all myself and write it." He said, "Y'all did some good work, but I'm gonna do this on my own." So he said, "I'll do this, but it's gonna have to be no Earl, no nothing. She gonna have to come down here if she want her album done. She gonna have to sleep on this studio couch for 30 days, and that's the only way I'm doing it."
And she never came back.
Right.
And the question is, after seeing R. Kelly have sex with a teenager, why would you bring your wife to work with R. Kelly by herself and leave her there?
Yeah. I that baffles me as well. I don't know. I couldn't answer that one for him. I wouldn't want my wife anywhere around him. Honestly.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was a bad call. But I mean, I guess at least he got to see, what kind of wife I guess he has, I guess. Because shouldn't nobody honestly be able to take your woman? So.
Well, were you around Sparkle as well? Were you around Sparkle as well?
No.
Okay. So that whole family, there's some real crazy shit, really kind of going on, with money and fame involved. It seems like everything else kind of goes out the window.
Right.
Well, the family wanted to try to come up, right? That was the whole thing. Sparkle introduced her family so that they could all get a piece of some money in the industry. They all had talent. Why not bring them to R. Kelly? She's thinking she can trust him. She don't know that he's into little girls. Okay, yeah, she might have known that he married Aaliyah, but everybody kind of like departed after that. Everybody started separating. And then he changed friends, management, things switched. People switched. Some people stayed. Some people left. And we all know that R. Kelly had a tape out there, not with just Rashana. He had a tape out there with other girls. Montina Woods was one of those girls. Some other light-skinned girl that looked like it could have been Aaliyah from the back. Who knows? Or maybe that was Richard De Leon, his wife, Sheffield's wife, right? Who knows?
So then this tape comes out, and you recognize the girl as the girl that you had the threesome with, who is Sparkle says that's her niece. A bunch of her schoolmates are saying yes, that's who we say it is. We played basketball with her, everything else like that. And R. Kelly gets arrested for, I guess, child pornography.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And well, the trial doesn't start for 7 years or something, some huge amount of time.
Yeah, I think it was 6. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he pushed that trial back
he did.
No one I've ever seen.
Right.
And during the time, he became bigger and bigger. I feel like his biggest songs were dropped during that 6-year era.
Hey, Take, what's up, mama? How you doing, lady? Long time no see.
The Chocolate Factory and, I Believe I Could Fly came out during the time. And
I think that was in the 90s, the late 90s, but yeah, still.
But anyways, Step in the Name of Love, right. and all of that was coming out during that era.
Yes.
Now the trial begins and you actually are involved in the trial.
Right.
Okay, so what did they what is your involvement in that trial?
Pretty much I just had to identify the people on the tape. I was able to identify them because I've had a threesome with the both of them. So that was pretty much my role.
When you say the both of them, there were two girls on the tape?
No, Rob and Rashona. Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
Sorry. Well, because I had heard that when the Chicago newspaper got the tape, there were like multiple tapes, multiple girls and so forth. There was a series, there was more than one tape.
Well,
And
are we talking about the trial from 2008?
yeah, see, that's the part I'm not sure, because they almost made it describe like there were multiple tapes, but I guess only one particular scene made it to trial.
I know the other tapes were in Florida. Remember, they ended up throwing it out because I guess the way they got the tapes.
Okay.
So yeah.
Got it. Right. Okay. Got it. Okay. That's what I'm confusing it with. Yeah, because there were other tapes. So this whole trial happens, and you took the stand and everything?
Yes. I testified for 3 hours.
Okay.
She was only on the stand for 3 hours.
At some point, did you say,
oh, wow.
Okay, yes, I don't agree with the things that R. Kelly has done, but he's also done a lot of good things for me along the way, and I'm not going to participate in this trial. Was that ever a thought?
No, because they threatened my life. So that is what I was thinking about at that point. If you're talking about killing me, everything else is off the table. I mean, I was concerned with him getting better. I was concerned with him getting help. I was a great friend to him and lover at the time when we were in a sexual relationship. But at the time, once you come to a point where your team is talking about killing me, I think it's safe to say I shouldn't be trying to help you change and get better. I think at that point, I should be more concerned with my well-being and the other young ladies that you've been dealing with.
Okay. Well, you took the stand, and a lot of people took the stand in the process. Did the girls, the girl on the tape, did she or her family take the stand at all?
They didn't during trial. Beforehand, they had like that hearing beforehand where that's when I said, the father said it wasn't her. They did that, but no, not during trial.
Okay. So her whole family denied it?
Just the immediate, because Sparkle said it was her. So
right. So
she said it wasn't her. They did that hearing beforehand where
they take the stand at all?
They did.
The grand jury. They testified to the grand jury.
Didn't during trial. Beforehand, they had like that hearing beforehand where that's when I said, the father said it wasn't her. She said it wasn't her. They did that, but no, not during trial.
Okay.
So the parents weren't there for the trial either. Is that what she's saying? Because she's saying that they were there for the grand jury, but not for the trial.
So her whole family denied it?
Just the immediate, because Sparkle said it was her. So
right. So the actual girl denied it was her. Right. Her mother and her father both denied it.
Yes. And but let me put out there that her mother and father were actually on a vacation while trial was going on.
Oh, to avoid them taking a stand.
Right.
And getting subpoenaed.
Yes. In a whole other country. Right.
I mean, did you hear of any payouts or anything else like that going to the family?
I've heard. Mm-hmm. The pretty much the typical payout that he does. Mm-hmm.
Which is what? $250,000?
Yep.
Okay.
His typical $250,000. Here, $250,000 for you. Thank you, honey. $250,000 for you. $250,000 for you. All you have to do is shut up. Shut up. All you gotta do is shut up. $250,000. Shut up. $250,000. $2,000. Shut up. But you know what? People took the money and still said, fuck you, R. Kelly. You want to know why? Because they got tired of his bullshit. Because here it is, 2019, and he was still doing the same thing he was doing back in 1991. So, Peoples was like, we're done. We're done with you. We're done. We're really, really done. You're doing too much. You're just doing too much. Okay? A lot of people spoke out about him then, and a lot of people were silent about him then. The same way some people have spoke out about him now is the same way some people are silent now. A lot of people jumped ship once they knew R. Kelly was. They were like, oh no, I gotta go. And whoever the feds caught up with, they caught up with them and said, listen, we're going to subpoena you to testify. Okay? And when you get this subpoena, please make sure you come. Because if you don't, we're going to lock you up. But if they can't find you to give you a subpoena, to serve you with a subpoena, then you can't come to court. You can't testify. They can't even lock you up for that. You're just not available. Point blank, period. You are just not available. That's it. That's all. They're not here. I don't know. We keep leaving letters at the door, knocking, ringing the bell. Where are they? Oh, come to find out they're in a vacation in Europe. Chilling. Let's continue. I'm going to play that back a little bit. Let's play that back a little bit.
Out there that her mother and father were actually on a vacation while trial was going on.
Oh, to avoid them taking a stand.
Right.
And getting subpoenaed.
Yes. In a whole nother country. Right.
I mean, did you hear of any payouts or anything else like that going to the family?
I've heard. Mm-hmm. The pretty much the typical payout that he does. Mm-hmm.
Which is what? $250,000?
Yep.
Okay. Well, they go through this whole trial and he's found not guilty.
Yes.
Which everyone was completely shocked.
Actually, I wasn't.
Really?
I wasn't.
Why is that?
Because if you don't have a victim, how can you have a crime?
Exactly, Lisa. Exactly.
Okay. So when he got off, you were like, that's what I thought.
I mean, I just was like, hey, I tried to help. I did my part. I'm trying. I've always been out trying to raise awareness. That's what it's about for me. Like I said, when she said it wasn't her, when I knew her family went out of town, I pretty much knew what it was going to be at that point.
Okay. Then R. Kelly goes on with his life and goes on with his career. And, he's not at that same level anymore.
Right.
But he still has a catalog of hits and still touring and everything else like that. Did you maintain any sort of contact with him after the trial?
No, none at all.
So that was it, and during this time, based on what we saw in the documentary, he's now bringing in other girls and kind of repeating the cycle all over again. And what I find kind of interesting, because I was talking to someone about this, is that you yourself, were you ever an aspiring singer?
No.
No. But a lot of the girls that ended up being around him were.
Yes.
And the only singer that I've ever heard R. Kelly put out was Sparkle.
And Aaliyah, I
So-
guess, right?
And Aaliyah, right?
Mhm.
But this is the '90s, like.
Right.
So you're talking about, you have these like promises of making you a superstar, but this hasn't happened in like 20 years.
Yeah, and
So-
I mean, the group talent he had, they were really good. You know, I just hate that he really didn't do anything with them because they were awesome. Yeah, so
Okay.
he doesn't
Okay.
really, I guess he kind of feeds people dreams.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
Exactly. He feeds people dreams. That's what he did. That's how he started to lure people, you know, feeding them dreams. Feeding them dreams. That's it. That's all. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. That was that. Now, remember, guys, what I was talking about when Choke No Joke was explaining about this 13-year-old girl in Georgia or wherever it was, I forgot what state. I found the article about it, and it says that R. Kelly was accused of sexually abusing a 13-year-old girl in 2001. It says a fresh allegation has been made against R. Kelly by an unnamed woman who says the R&B star sexually assaulted her when she was 13 and later infected her with herpes. The police in Detroit, okay, so the girl comes from Detroit. That's where it was. Police in Detroit are investigating the claims made by the woman, who says she and Kelly had sex at a hotel in the city in December of 2001, and a few weeks later at a recording studio. The woman says she visited Kelly at his home over the next 4 years, eventually contracting herpes from him when she was 17. It says, we are eagerly waiting to speak to the alleged victim, Detroit Police Chief James Craig told CBS News. It is the latest in a long series of sexual assault allegations made against Kelly, including those from women who were underage at the time of the claimed incidents. Kelly, who is in custody, has not responded to the new allegations, but has long denied all accusations against him, saying that any sexual relations have been consensual or that the alleged victims are lying. Okay. Complaints have been made against Kelly as far back as 1996, but the number of them has escalated since July of 2017, when he was accused of sexually, physically, and emotionally abusing women in a sex cult. Pressure increased on Kelly after a high-profile documentary about the allegations, which aired in January. He was arrested and charged with 10 new counts of sexual abuse. And 9 of the counts related to 3 women who were between the ages of 13 and 17 at the time of the assaults. Now, that they're talking about the sexual assault case. That's with the 4 girls. Lanita Carter, Heather Williams, Rashonda Landfair, and Geronda Pace. Okay. And that's that. Let's hear what he's got to say here. Let's listen.
You with underage girls. Do you still sit here and say you have never been with underage girls? Can you really say that?
I sit here and say this. I had 2 cases back then that I said in the beginning of the interview that I would not talk about because of my ongoing case now.
Okay.
Right? Okay, fair enough. But I will tell you this. People are going back to my past. Okay? That's exactly what they're doing. They're going back to the past and they're trying to add all of this stuff now to that, to make all of the stuff that's going on now feels real to people.
That's right. You damn right, R. Kelly. You damn right. That's exactly why. You right. You're not an idiot. You know you guilty as hell. That's why you mad. Because it's coming back to bite you in your ass. And this time, it feels real. Because it's more than just one. It was hard back then because nobody wanted to believe those girls. Everybody was trying to protect R. Kelly's image. No, please, don't go to the cops. Please, come. Go to the lawyer. Go to the lawyer. Go to the lawyer. He'll pay you off, okay? Just be quiet. Shh. Shut up. Here's $250,000. We'll pay you installments. We'll give you $100,000 now and like $5,000 every month, okay? That's what's going to happen because we don't need R. Kelly to be ruined. Sony, listen, we need to take a $7 million advance out. We need $7 million because we need to pay off all these cases. We need to pay off the lawyers. We need to pay off these girls as they're coming through the door one by one. They just keep coming. So if you want to keep your man making you money, please help us. All right. Well, look, here's the $7 million. He owes us. Just remember, he owes us. You know? And then when they left and parted ways, they had an agreement because he was still under contract and still had to come up with 2 albums for them that year when he got arrested. And he was going to do tours, allegedly across abroad to like Germany and Dubai and things of that nature. So you damn right, R. Kelly. Let's rewind that a little bit. I'll rewind that just a little bit.
Yes. Okay. That's exactly what they're doing. They're going back to the past and they're trying to add all of this stuff now to that, to make all of the stuff that's going on now feels real to people.
But the past is relevant with you with underage girls.
Absolutely no, it's not.
Right.
Because for one, I beat my case.
But I'm not talking about the one case in which you were.
Yeah, he's right. He beat it. He paid it off. He beat it by paying it off. He didn't win his case. He didn't win it. He beat it. He's right. He said the right words. Right choice of words, R. Kelly. Right choice of words.
Acquitted. I'm talking about the other cases where women have come forward and said, R. Kelly had sex with me when I was under the age of 18. R. Kelly was abusive to me emotionally and physically and verbally.
Okay.
R. Kelly took me in a black room where unspeakable things happened. This is what they're saying about you. These aren't old rumors.
Not true. Whether they're old rumors, new rumors,
why would they say this
rumors,
about you?
Not true.
and correct me if I'm wrong, that you have never held anybody against their will.
I don't need to. Why would I?
Well,
How stupid would
never
never
held
held R.
anybody.
Kelly with all I've been through in my way past to hold somebody, let alone 4, 5, 6, 50.
I could agree with that. He didn't hold anybody against their will, physically, but mentally and emotionally, they were trapped. They felt trapped. They were scared to leave. Some of them depended on him. A lot of them depended on him. He made it that way. He created it to be that way. Your family don't love you. I love you. I'll take care of you. Why you want to go home? Playing with their mind, brainwashing them, isolating them from their family and friends so that they see no one else but R. Kelly. He's right. They're wrong. They don't know nothing. Daddy needs to teach them.
You said, what? How stupid would I be to do that?
I didn't say you
That's
were holding.
stupid, guys.
I didn't.
Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid. Use your common sense. Don't forget the blogs. Forget how you feel about me. Hate me if you want to, love me if you want, but just use your common sense. How stupid would it be for me to, with my...
You know, he used that phrase a couple of times in a couple of interviews. Hate me or love me if you want to. Oh, that's his famous shit.
Crazy past and what I've been through. Oh, right now I just think I need to be a monster and hold girls against their will, chain them up in my basement, and don't let them eat and don't let them out unless they need some shoes.
No, you didn't chain nobody up. You mentally chained them up. Mentally, psychologically, emotionally. They were bonded to you. Bonded to their abuser. They were starstruck. You took advantage of that situation. You made them fall in love. So they thought they were in love. And they thought you loved them too. Because every time you beat them or did something, you would say, listen, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that, but you be making me mad. And I don't want to do that. But I love you and I care about you. If I didn't care, I wouldn't do that. Shit like that. That gaslighting shit. No, you didn't hear that. That's not what you heard. You're bugging out. What are you talking about? That's not what he said. That's what she said. She said this, she said that. No, you're confused. They like to confuse people. They like to make you think you're crazy. Wait, but did I? No, I didn't. Wait, did he mean it like that? Or did he mean... No, he meant it that way. Okay. So, I'm okay. No! The whole time he's gassing you up for the letdown. Then he said, but he promised he wasn't going to do that again. But here he is doing it again. And then you look to yourself like you're crazy because it's your fault. Well, you know what? I was the stupid one. I shouldn't have done that. I knew better.
Down the street from their uncle.
Robert,
stop it. Y'all quit playing. Quit playing.
Robert.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life.
You sure are fighting for your life. I agree. You're fighting for your life. But you know what? It's a damn shame. If you didn't do this dumb shit that you was doing, you wouldn't have to worry about fighting for your life. You would be A-okay. But you can't help yourself, right, Mr. Kelly? Couldn't help yourself. Cannot help yourself. Couldn't help yourself. Let me see. Well, honey, take our Kelly. What's up, ladies who came into the building? Yes. Wasn't he still paying her up to recently, last few years? Yes. 2018, mama. 2018, he was paying off for Shonda Landfair. Yes. Yes, ma'am. They disappeared from these streets, didn't they? Yeah. He had to keep her under him to keep her from talking. Exactly, James. That dumbass Debo said that was Lisa Van Allen on the tape. Okay, we're gonna say this again. Yes, Lisa Van Allen was on a tape, but the one that they showed in court was the one with R. Kelly and Rashonda Landfair only. That was the only part of the tape they used, which was 26 minutes long of R. Kelly abusing Rashonda Landfair. The rest of the tape was irrelevant. Had nothing to do with the case. The case was one victim, one scene. That's all it boiled down to. That's it. That's all. That's what it boiled down to. That was it. Just them two. Take our Kelly, give us back to Pa. I haven't said that full name in a minute. She was what? She was supposedly with RSK also. Sparkle, yes. Allegedly, she was with him as well. Yeah. He's living like... Yeah, I agree. Oh, man. I want old Earl to pop out. Yeah, I wonder if he's ever going to pop out somewhere again. I guess she's on the 3 new tapes too. Rashonda Landfair or Lisa Van Allen? Because, yes, we know that Rashonda Landfair is on all 4 tapes. Okay? But 3 are new. 1 is old. 1 is from the old case. And the other 3 are 3 different other videos. So there's 4 altogether. 1 from the 2008 trial, right? And 3 other videos. So it's 4 altogether. She said I got fast. I had the lady. Okay. Earl's trying to live. People are dying. Oh, man. Dre knew his boy. That's why I don't understand him when he say he didn't see anything. I'm pretty sure he saw the girls coming in and out. He knew who they were. You know what I'm saying? Well, he probably didn't know who they were. But like Dre has said, yes, he's done seen girls around him. You know, he can't say particularly, he could say that one was 16 and that one was 15. But yes, like he said, they did look young. But he didn't fool around with stuff like that. He would go home. Sometimes R. Kelly would make him stay. And then there was times when he'd be like, listen, Kelly, I gotta go home. I'm not with this. I'm not staying here. I'm not hanging out all night. This is not happening. He did those things. According to what Dre said to me. 100, their body language on their interview with Vlad shows and tell they knew more. Yeah, they seen things, they heard things, of course. Remember, there was a lot of rumors floating around. Like Javante said, people were whispering. You know, there was a lot of whispering. Sparkle said there was whispers. You know, things were going on, and some people were like, what? No, really? Are you serious? And then some people were like, yes, girl, this is what's really going on, girl. Yes. Yes. Okay. It went on. Things did happen. People did see. What people didn't see was the sexual abuse. Unless R. Kelly showed those tapes to the people he did show it to. Because according to some people, he did show his sexual encounters to his entourage. They did watch some stuff. He would either leave tablets open purposely, like when they went to Florida. In Florida, when I was reading about the search, when they did the search, he had open tablets, he had a projector or some shit. He had laptops with porn all open. He was just straight showing porn. He was showing porn to all his people. It didn't matter. He would sit there and he would have a girl suck his dick in the studio while he's trying to, while he got his engineers right here, a couple of his entourage sitting in the corner, and they're trying to sing. They've done said that R. Kelly's done had girls in the studio lined up against the wall, facing the wall, butt naked in G-strings, in heels, standing there, just standing there, not moving and doing nothing, just standing there. One time, one of them said that he had a girl bend over a desk, and there was a line of niggas coming out the door. You son of a... Hey! And there was a line coming out the door, and dudes was standing outside waiting to stick her. R. Kelly was sharing the girls with his friends. He was sharing those girls with his friends. Okay. When someone is breaking the law, they're not going to do it in front of everyone. Exactly. They're not going to do it in front of everyone. They're not. You know? I wonder how many will fall if RSK start dropping names and videos of other people. Listen, girl. Huh? Yeah, they all knew. They all knew. Everybody knew. They just didn't know the depths of what he was doing. Not everyone. Some knew. Not everyone. Because he knew who to bring his dirt to. He knew who he could show it off to. He knew who he could talk to about it. He knew who his yes men were. Hey, Nicole. What's up, mama? Oh, yeah, I'm still on, mama. If you have to catch the replay, you already know. Hey, Miss Mo. What's up, loca? What's up, loca? Same thing he's doing now. Shit, K. Michelle said he had some in fish tanks. What? What? In fish tanks? Getting fish tanks? What? Same thing he's doing now, standing there butt naked against the wall. Ty, do you think this is going on? Or do you think he's paying dudes in there to stand against the wall naked? While he whack off. How's that? Yes, Rashonda Landfair. Yes, she is testifying. Who else from the new tapes is? Well, the only one that we know is Rashonda Landfair and her cousin, one of her cousins, and 3 other girls that we do not know. 3 other girls that we do not know of.
He makes food every 5 minutes.
So we only really truly know about Rashonda Landfair for sure. The other 4 girls we don't know.
Mom!
Yes.
That was for breakfast.
Hold on, one moment. All right, sorry ladies. I forgot. It's dinner time. I gotta end this live. I gotta cook. I gotta get in the kitchen. He's having orgies and trains now. Yes, this is what he was having his boys do. He was letting his people do these things. This is crazy. Okay. Where is? Let me see something. Joshua, quiet. What is the one I was going to make?
I can't wait to fight you guys in tug of war. I'm gonna go.
All right. Shit. Give me 1 second. I don't remember if I can. Shoot.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, really now?
Okay.
You say you've known me for how long? I didn't even get my. Oh. I didn't get my Xbox out too long ago.
Now, this is something that I found interesting. It is about Joshua. It is about R. Kelly and Andrea. It said that the judge, the title of the article is Judge to Hold Closed Door Hearing on What Documents Will Remain Under Seal in Court Fight Between R. Kelly and His Ex-Wife. And this article came out in the Chicago Tribune on June 7th of 2019.
Judge to hold closed-door hearing on what documents will remain under seal in court fight between R. Kelly and ex-wife. By Madeline Buckley, Chicago Tribune, June 7, 2019, 2 minutes. Remove from saved. Chicago, a Cook County judge on Thursday decided she will hear arguments behind closed doors about which documents from R. Kelly's court fight with his ex-wife over child support should remain under seal. The decision comes after Judge Lori Rosen ordered in May that filings in the case be open to the public going forward, reversing the decision by another judge in 2013 to keep the entire legal squabble under wraps. The unsealing came after lawyers for the Chicago Tribune and WBEZ-FM 91.5 intervened to open the proceedings. While the hearing was underway at the Daily Center downtown, R. Kelly was pleading not guilty at the Layton Criminal Court building on the southwest side to new charges that he sexually assaulted an underage girl he met at his 2008 child pornography trial. He is also charged with sexually abusing 3 others. At the May hearing, Rosen had ruled that a blanket order sealing the case, head to toe, violated the law, but she said she would decide later what documents in the divorce case's 13-year history would be made public. The judge has now decided Tuesday she will hear requests from attorneys for the embattled R&B singer and ex-wife Andrea Kelly to keep certain documents from public view at a July 10th hearing that will be closed to the public and media. Rosen said she will then make her ruling public. It was unclear whether attorneys for the news media would be allowed to attend the July 10th hearing. Allison Mata, an attorney for Andrea Kelly, filed paperwork detailing which records she wanted blacked out or kept entirely under seal. Mata told the Tribune that the attorneys requested the closed-door hearing in order to speak freely about material they hoped to keep private. Rosen, though, rebuked Mata for not giving her enough notice of the hearing so sheriff's deputies could be lined up to provide security because of what the judge called the external interest in the case. That puts the sheriff's deputies and everyone else in the building at a security disadvantage, which is not acceptable, the judge said. Rosen later said she had followed proper procedures in setting up the hearing, but the case didn't make the judge's court call because the Cook County Circuit Clerk's office treated the court fight as if it was still sealed. Rosen has ruled previously that any documents filed from last December forward should be made public. But Jeffrey Coleman, an attorney representing WBEZ, told Rosen that reporters have been unable to pull the records at the circuit clerk's office. Rosen said she has been in contact with the clerk's office to let them know those records are not still under seal. Reporters will have to take up the issue with the clerk's office, she said. Visit the Chicago Tribune.
So, some of the divorce proceeding documents or the child support documents are sealed. And the Chicago Tribune, they were trying to get a hold of it. So I wonder, she did unseal some things. So I wonder if I'm gonna try to see if I can get into it. I'm gonna try, guys. I'm gonna try to see if I could get into it. That would be very interesting.
Do it.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yo, if I add you on Discord, I'll give you a face reveal.
This one's loading.
It's like I'm live. Your access is denied. Why would I give you a face reveal? You're ugly. I'll give you a face reveal if you give me a face reveal. I want to see how ugly you are. We're doing it. By the way, I'm actually kind of on the show. You know what? For the one who won on Friday, whoever wins has to show their money.
Okay.
Oh yeah. And that's when I'm not gonna be laughing. So your butt cheeks are gonna get clapped. Oh, now you're scared. What? How about what?
Wait, it's not this one. Wait, have a look.
Even if I win, I'll still
Okay, so there was this letter. It was an open letter to R. Kelly. And this letter was written in March 8th of 2006. And it comes from the Feminists of Color United. And it's from 4 or 5 young ladies. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 young ladies from the Feminists of Color United. Julie, Courtney, Jacqueline, Sonia, and Raquel. Hold on 1 second. Wait.
March 8, 2006 TO The University of Texas at Austin Administration, UT Performing Arts Center Administration, university students, faculty, staff, and the greater Austin community. We are a coalition of women, men, students, faculty, people of color, and white allies. We are taking a stand against the university's decision to allow an accused child pornographer to perform on our campus. We are taking a stand against sexual assault and exploitation of women of color on our campus and in our communities. We discovered that the UT Performing Arts Center, PAC, invited R&B singer and accused child pornographer R. Kelly to perform at the Base Concert Hall. We are offended that money generated from student fees to support the arts on campus are being used to sponsor a performance with an individual who has a history of dodging allegations of child pornography, statutory rape, and exploiting young women sexually. After speaking with a representative of the PAC, we were informed that they invited Kelly to perform despite his background and the fact that he is currently on trial for 14 counts of child pornography. Their reason: Kelly should be considered innocent until proven guilty. Regardless of his guilt or innocence, as women and men of color who attend and work at this university, we are appalled at the use of university funds to support such an individual. In order to make our case more clearly, perhaps it is necessary to know the background of the Kelly case as well as our political position. In February 2002, a videotape depicting a man who appears to be R. Kelly engaging in sexual intercourse with a 14-year-old girl. Kelly was indicted in Chicago in June 2002 with 21 counts for charges of soliciting a minor for child pornography, 7 counts for videotaping these acts, and 7 counts of producing child pornography. Kelly was further indicted in January 2003 on 12 counts of possession of child pornography in Florida. Currently 14 of the 33 charges still stand, and despite his busy touring schedule, Kelly is on trial for these charges. Although we are specifically targeting R. Kelly because he is coming to our campus, we feel that it is critically important not to lose sight of the larger issue in this matter: sexual violence against women of color and sexism in communities of color. The fact that there has been no collective critique of the R. Kelly case either by prominent Black or feminist leaders clearly demonstrates the lack of value that is placed on the lives and general well-being of women of color. While it is necessary to fight against the racism that affects both men and women of color, we feel it is our responsibility to also fight against the sexism within Black, Latino, Asian, and Indigenous communities as well. In the tradition of Frederick Douglass, as a community, we must acknowledge and act upon the reality that the structural oppression of racism is both historically and contemporarily informed by gendered violence against Black women. We recognize that until men of color deal with this reality, they will continue to reproduce terror. UPN. Women of color. Sexual assault against women of color in the U.S. is a pervasive social reality that we all must struggle to overcome. By inviting Kelly to perform, the university and the PAC demonstrate a lack of awareness of the reality of sexual assault against women of color, and in so doing, implicitly support the perpetuation of this particular and pervasive form of violence. Read free for 30 days. Get 30 days of free Scribd member. Time for those of us who believe in freedom, justice, and the right to a safe and healthy life to stand up for ourselves. As women of color and allies of women of color, who are a part of the university community, we are appalled at the university's blatant disregard of sexual violence against women of color. We are here to stand up in defense of ourselves, our lives, and our communities. It is clear that the PAC has no intention of retracting their invitation to Kelly or canceling the show. Barring such a response, we demand the following. At the PAC, contact Mr. Kelly's publicist/manager and invite him to participate in a dialogue with Feminists of Color United. FOCU will be hosting a sexual assault teach-in at the Center for African and African American Studies, Friday, March 17th, 5 to 7 p.m. Had FOCU be given space in the concert program to share our concerns with people attending the event. We be given a brief time slot prior to the show to directly address the audience and present our analysis of this situation. We be granted space to host an informational demonstration outside of the base concert hall as the audience arrives, and be permitted to distribute educational literature. In this manner, we believe that we can truly shed light on the critical issue of sexual violence against women of color while also holding the university responsible for its actions. If the university administration and the PAC truly believe in making this university a space where all people can thrive and feel safe, these demands should cause little problem. Regardless, we will be at the base concert hall on March 17th, letting R. Kelly and everyone else know that we are serious in our criticism and our outrage. Sexual assault against women of color and sexism in communities of color must stop. And we know that it will only stop when we stand up for ourselves and say enough. In solidarity. Feminists of Color United. Julie Grigsby, Courtney Desiree Morris, Jacqueline Smith, Sonia dos Santos, Raquel de Souza.
And that was back in 2008. The University of Texas invited R. Kelly to perform. And a lot of the girls got together and protested him coming. And they protested against the university for inviting him. Are you going to say that they're a terrorist group too? Huh? Huh? Are they a terrorist group? Are they? The fuck out of here. Fucking terrorist group. Can you get terrorist group? Let me see here. What I got here. Okay, that's that. Oh. This is really long here. Hold on. Okay. Close that. Okay. Ugh. All right. Hold on a second.
Sound Opinions is supported by Goose Island, pairing beer and music since 1988. Goose Island Beer Company, Chicago, Illinois. Listen critically, enjoy responsibly.
What happened to music that meant something?
All right, guys. This I'm going to present to you now is something from Sound Opinions, which is Jim DeRogatis' podcast show. Okay? We're going to listen real quick.
On American Public Media, I'm Jim DeRogatis, the pop music critic at the Chicago Sun-Times.
And I'm Greg Kotz. I write about rock and roll for the Chicago Tribune. Today on the world's only rock and roll talk show, we're going to re-examine one of the most important issues in music today, copyright law, with our guest Lawrence Lessig.
Plus, Greg and I will review the new album from Alejandro Escovedo, and it's Greg's turn to add a track to the Desert Island Jukebox.
Wait, did I click the right one?
You're listening to Sound Opinions, and time now for some music news.
Hold on, guys. Shit.
R. Kelly will not be in jail to enjoy the proceeds from that particular record. The biggest legal proceeding in the music world since the Michael Jackson child molestation case in 2005 has ended in Cook County Court in Chicago a few days ago. R. Kelly acquitted on 14 charges of child pornography by a jury after about 7 hours of deliberation. The 5-week trial at an end mesmerized a good part of Chicago and the music world. R. Kelly, the biggest single name in R&B of the last 15 years as a singer, producer, and songwriter, has had his hand in over 40 million record sales in that time. Could have gotten away for a long time, 15 years in prison had he been convicted, but he was acquitted on all charges. And my partner on this show, Jim DeRogatis, his reporting led directly to the indictment of R. Kelly in 2002, and Jim also testified at the trial. Jim, what was your perspective from being inside this case and at Cook County Court while this was going on?
Greg, I got to say, it was the hardest single thing I've ever done as a professional in journalism. Yep. It was a heck of a couple of weeks. I think the first time I've only missed a radio show in our long history together. True. Thank you for covering for me there, buddy. I owe you $10. I did not testify. I was compelled to appear in court under the threat of a 6-month contempt of court charge in jail. I could have gone to jail before R. Kelly. And instead, I relied upon my First and Fifth Amendment protections because journalists can't do their job if they're forced to testify. Why was I there? I mean, because the tape that got him indicted on originally 21 counts of child pornography surfaced in my mailbox. I think, Greg, it's not really right for me to give my feelings on this verdict. I think the thing that's going to be extremely interesting is when Kelly's next album comes out in late July or early August, it's scheduled, is how the music world reacts, because it was not this one case of one alleged teenager on this videotape and Kelly. It's been a pattern of behavior of using his position of wealth and fame to pursue sexual relationships with underage girls. That's what we've reported in the Chicago Sun-Times since 2000. It's why the videotape most likely came to us, and it was at the core of this trial. And yet none of the other girls, there were 4 girls who sued Kelly and settled with him, others who took settlements from him before they ever filed lawsuits, and of course Aaliyah. He married his teenage protege, Aaliyah, when she was 15. None of that was mentioned in court. Obviously, it's been a topic of his music. He hasn't shied away from singing directly about these unnamed sins that he's asked forgiveness for. I think that it's going to be interesting for us to explore what that says about our culture and Kelly's music when this record comes out.
Now, this article, this podcast, shall I say, came out in June 20th of 2008. Now, let me go on mute for a second because they're going to play some music. Hold on. All right, that was the end of what he had to say there. Sorry about that, guys. But let's get back to Lisa Van Allen. What the heck? What happened here? Oh. What the heck happened here? Give me a second, guys. Oh, shit. Okay, something happened here. Why is it not letting me go back to the top of the article? Give me 1 second, guys. I'm having a technical difficulty. God, all day. This whole live. What the hell is going on here? 1 Oh, great. Why is it acting like that? Okay, something's happening here with this article. All right, guys, I'm going to end this live and I'm going to make a part 2. Okay? Because I'm having technical difficulties. All right, guys. So make sure you guys hit that like button, please. Don't forget to hit that like button on your way out. If you are not subscribed to my channel, I am Diva the Divine Light. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification on the bell. Put it on all. Thank you guys for coming. Love y'all. Make sure you leave some comments below in the video.
Ladies and gentlemen, lend me your ears and your eyes. Diva Divine Light, live from Brooklyn, New York.
Know your lane for what you saying, yo. Silly with my 9 milli with the dilly, yo. When I be on my yes, I do my duty, yo. While up in the club, every while in the studio. You don't wanna violate, nigga, really and truly, yo. My main thug, nigga named Julio, he moody, yo. Like a nigga that'll slap me with the tulio. Bitch, nigga scared to death, act fruity, yo. Fuck that, nigga shorty, she a little cutie, yo. The way you shake it, make me wanna get all in the booty, yo. With no delaying for what you saying, yo.
Diva Divine Light.
Really my heart to me. Fucking see what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you really my heart to me. Fucking see what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you.
You're watching Diva the Divine Light. A fun-loving, caring, passionate person who talks about sex, celebrity, and real-life issues, and even abuse. So hit that like button and make sure you share the show.
Really my heart to me. Fucking see what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be.